Let's add some flair to your rhythm playing with 5 ways you can use the pentatonic scale to create fills in between your chords. Let's use a 1-2 progression in the key of G, that's G major going to A minor. I'm focusing on E-shaped chords that's rooted on string 6 to allow you to freely move these ideas to different keys, different root notes. It's important from the offset to establish what I call the part structure, i.e. how many beats you're going to give the chord and how many beats you give the filler. Across a 4-beat measure, we'll look to do 2 beats chord, 2 beats fill. Number 1, pentatonic from the root note. This first idea is playing the major pentatonic from the root on string 6. With the hand in this bar chord shape, it sets you up perfectly for the 3-2 sliding major pentatonic scale. This is ideal for linking chord shapes horizontally. From the roots, you have 3 notes on string 6 and 2 notes on string 5, linking to the octave root on string 4. Finger 1 is on the root, that's E3, then I go to E5 with finger 3, then I slide into E7 with finger 3, and I go A5, finger 1, A7, finger 3, and then D5, finger 1. This is root, 2, 3, 5, 6. And back to the root. We've got 6 notes when including the octave root to fit into 2 beats, so we need to use a 16th note figure. The one I have for you, first of all, is a 3 and a 4 E and 3 and a 4 E and. Moving back from the A minor to G, we'll do the opposite, working down the scale. So we start on the root with finger number 1, and then we go A7, A5, E7, E5, and then I like to slide down on finger number 1. Up, down. So I recommend you loop these ideas with the backing track or the metronome at a tempo that suits you. Idea 2, triad double stops. Now I'm visualizing a triad shape as I play this pentatonic scale. I'm coming off that root note, but within it, I see this. This is a G triad, but G is on string 4. We have the B, which is the 3rd, as the lowest note. It's B, D, and G. A G over B or G/B. But this I relate, and you should too, back to this, because it's one of the 4 triads of the E shape. Now with the hand set up like this, what I can do is I can bar into the 5th fret, and I can hammer on, first of all, to that 3rd, like that. But you can also do the same move with the note on string 5, taking 2 strings at a time. So from the initial E shape, I'm seeing these 2 fingers. I know I need to put my index finger 1 there, and then the 3rd finger grabs the note a whole step above that finger. Just jumping in to thank today's video sponsor, which is me. Guitar Blueprint is my comprehensive guide teaching you exactly how I visualize the fretboard with the use of the cage system, 3 note per string, and interval shapes. Now with this knowledge, you will be able to hit the good notes every time and take the guesswork out of your soloing. Students say it's like learning the source code for the fretboard, and they've been blown away by the difference it's made in their playing. You can find out more with the link down below or in the cards. And know this, all the visualizations I am teaching you today are covered in detail in the course. Idea 3 is rooting on string number 5, getting even more from this pentatonic shape. These exact same concepts will apply to the bar chord shape rooted on string 5, what I call the A-shaped bar chord. This being the C as an example. You see A major, C major in the A shape. So if that's the bar chord, then I have the identical pentatonic pattern. Slide, slide. So everything you just learnt from the root note on string 6 is immediately applicable to the root on string 5. If you're thinking about a 1-2 in the key of C, for example, then it all will work there as well. Idea number 4 is the second octave slides. Now that sliding pentatonic you've just been playing on string 6 and 5 can also be played in a higher octave across strings 4 and 3. The starting point, the visualization for that is that octave root on string 4 at the 5th fret. So it's D5 is the setup with finger 1, and then it works in the same way once again. So root 2, 3, so that's D5, D7, D9. Then I have G7, G9. Now where we might expect the root note to be under finger number 1, in fact it's on finger number 2. It's 1 fret higher because of the nature of standard tuning, the way the guitar works. As we move on to string 2, it's 1 fret higher. If you know the octave shapes, that's the 4-2 octave, 3 frets above. So you make that link with finger 2. So those same fill ideas can then apply into this second octave. So it works in the exact same way, perhaps a little bit of a leap initially for the eyes and visualizing the root note up here, but with a little practice you'll see this comes very easily. And once again, this pentatonic pattern I think of being formed around this right here. Now this is another G over B, it's another G triad in a first inversion, but I think this is coming out of the C shape. Okay, that's a G chord in the C shape under caged. There it is. So then those double stop ideas will also work in the same way. The only thing to look out for is that I'm having to use 2 fingers to grab the notes on string 2 and 3, and then I'm hammering with finger 3. There's a bar with finger 1 across strings 3 and 4. And idea 5 is pentatonics in position. Around bar chord shapes, you can always form a pentatonic scale. Around this G chord in the E shape, the full 2 octave pattern looks like this. Now you may see this as position 1 major pentatonic or position 2 minor pentatonic. This numbering approach can be a little confusing, so I identify this as the E shape major pentatonic to be relating it back to this bar chord. So if I play this, I know I've always got that pentatonic under the hand. Using the second octave of this pentatonic scale starting from string 4, you can use the same ideas as the sliding pentatonic going up and down the scale. The double stop ideas are also available, but the guitar tuning makes them a little trickier for the fretting hand, as you will see in just one moment. So going up the scale is not too demanding. Or descending, same idea. You'll notice that there is a bit of a position shift for finger 1. I like to play it like this. So finger 1 here is in the 2nd fret. As I come here, it's in the 3rd fret. And this is the issue with the double stop ideas. You've got to just look out for that. Breaking that down on strings 1 and 2, I've got these 2 notes right here. And I've got these 2 notes available to me a whole step above. For some double stop hammer-on ideas. But as I move to strings 2 and 3, I need to use my second finger and finger 1. That's the back end of the pentatonic. And then I can use the third finger again. It's similar to what we saw just before up here, but you've got a position shift. Here, you didn't need to move the hand, but here you do. Now for the A minor chord, this is probably the pentatonic box you have already learned. It's that position 1, which is residing within that bar chord shape. I think of that as I call it the E minor pentatonic scale, because again, it's working around an E minor shape bar chord. But with this particular progression, what you should look out for is to maybe don't use the C note. There's a bit of a rub. It doesn't sound quite so nice if you try and put that in for the fills in this progression, because we're in the key of G. So it's nice to stay with the G major pentatonic. So that would be the note of B. Thank you for your time. You practice well, and I'll see you in the next lesson.